Okay, so I wanted to speak a little bit about identity tonight. I don't know why it just came up, and it's something that I wanted to talk about. So I remember talking with this guy a while back, and I said something to him about who he is or who I am. I'm not sure how it started, but I said something about not being my mind or my thoughts, and he said, "But you are your mind, right? That's who you are, right? You're your brain. That's how you survive. That's how you think. That's how you make it through this world." And I remember I completely disagreed, but I mean, I'm not going to argue with him because how many people think that, right? But I wanted to throw some ideas out there just to sort of break that, or maybe just some thought provoking things. Okay, so if I want to identify with my mind, and to me, my mind is what I use to think. It's I guess my brain. I guess it's how I operate. It's what basically controls this meat suit, right? It's how everything that when I move this finger, it's the connection is made up here, right? So this does control my body, right? But my mind and what I use to think isn't what makes me who I am. Okay, so let's say I'm pretty sure the the correct. I'm pretty sure the amount of thoughts you have each day are 60 to 70,000 thoughts a day. So let's say you're awake for 16 hours. Okay, that's 60 to 70,000 thoughts in 16 hours. 16 hours isn't that long to have that many fucking thoughts, right? And so if you're sitting there thinking, and maybe just try to be consciously aware of every thought you have for a minute or 2 minutes or maybe even 30 seconds. I don't know. Write it all down and then see what it says. And pay attention to it and see how irrational and how neurotic your mind really is, right? What it's saying to you and how crazy a lot of what it's saying is, right? And and I think Alan Watts is this philosopher. He's this guy. He's really renowned, I believe, and he's just really inspirational dude, really smart. I remember watching a video with him, and he said the problem is where people make the separation from themselves and their thoughts. And I couldn't disagree with that more. I guess you are connected to your thoughts because thought provokes emotion or feeling, which usually provokes a reaction, right? But I don't think of it that way. I can understand, okay, I had this thought, therefore I have this emotion, therefore it uh, triggered this reaction, right? I can kind of break that down and I can see that happening in my own head. Um, but that's still there's still a disconnect there because I don't believe that's who I am, right? I don't identify myself with my mind because that would just make me a completely irrational, neurotic, crazy person. Which maybe I mean fuck, maybe we all are, right? What is crazy? What is delusion? Because what's crazy to me might be something completely normal to someone else, right? Um, so that's something I wanted to talk about was that, and yeah, it's crazy. I think that I think the mind and letting that control you and consume you is the root of a lot of problems today, including addiction and many other things. I think that it's tough today because let's think about it this way. So 30 years ago, if I were this age 30 years ago, I would know very little about the world compared to what I know now via the internet, right? Because we have such a vast information of knowledge and world news and what's going on and how religion is normally tied to your geographical point where you're living, right? So let's say I was raised Christian here, which is typical, it's really common, right? Christian, where I live. If I were born in India, I would most likely be raised, what, Hindu? Or if I were born in Pakistan, I would be, what's it called? I would be Muslim, right? I would be Muslim, right? So that's just kind of figuring it out, right? So it's a lot. It's hard to know what to believe in and what your purpose is because you can't just be told this is what we do here and then follow along with that because it's that would require no critical thought on your part. And I think people like to critically think about things and question things, hopefully. And and I think, but I also think it's tough because I think a lot of people feel lost and confused, and and don't know, and they're looking for fulfillment, right? They're looking to fill their cup, right? Because they don't know how to. I know I didn't know how to. I didn't know how to until earlier. I mean, recently, a year ago maybe. And I don't know, it's just crazy, man. Because you have everything you need. Everything you could possibly need, you have. All you need to do is realize it. It's all mindset. It's all thought provoked, right? It's conquering the fucking mind, right? And there's plenty of ways to do that, but that's all it is. Okay? So I'm just going to read this and explain a little bit, and then I'm going to be done. Okay, so I called it Being. This guy's name is Todd. He's a really, really, really good guy. He's an inspirational speaker. He's a life coach. He does tons of things, and he's helped a lot of people. He's a tremendous guy. So this is what I wrote. He asked me and two other people to give a presentation in one of the family groups where people's families come in the rehab. And this is what I wrote. He said he wanted us to write about what we thought greatness was. Okay. I said, are you really happy? Do you feel fulfilled? What is your purpose? What drives you? From where do you get your drive? I'll tell you where this needs to come from. It needs to come from within you. You have to find that place, and you have to feed it as much as possible, for you are all you have. You are all you fucking have, no matter what you surround yourself with, and no matter who you surround yourself with. The only thing that changes is up here. Sure, you can be connected with people, and there's energies that people give off and everything else, but at the end of the day, you're always just with you, okay? You are your own savior. No one else can do that. Learn to love yourself. Learn to love yourself so you can love others. Learn to be you, love yourself, accept yourself. Be accountable, live with integrity, and be honest. Live congruently with your moral code or your soul. That's what I think it is. I think it's your fucking soul that you need to live congruently with. I think that being able to have... Okay, so I wrote this. I think it's fucking great. I think that being able to have nothing, yet feel like you're everything, is greatness. And I've read books where people who claim to have been enlightened just... Okay, so the power of now... fuck, I have it right here. What's it? Elhart, whatever, what is it? Eckhart Tolle, okay. He said that after he became enlightened and gained this new awareness, he went and he was homeless for like 2 years, I think, and didn't have anything, but just was completely homeless and lived on a bench for like 2 years and felt more happy and fulfilled than he ever had in his life. And I think that's fucking greatness, is realizing that. Realizing not to identify yourself or find fulfillment through all of these external things, and you are everything you need. You just need to realize it. You need to conquer the mind. Okay, you need to get over that, because the mind can be consuming, and the mind is a very powerful thing that can make you believe very irrational things if you let it. Okay. So, I think that being able to have nothing yet feel like you're everything is greatness. Being able to separate yourself from your thoughts and not identify yourself through them. Don't identify yourself at all. Realize that we are all the same. We all have greatness inside of us. It's just a matter of whether or not you are choosing to feed that great part of you. So I challenge you to look inside yourself, be honest with yourself, and see from where you're getting your fulfillment. Do you get your gratification from external sources, like from people and material things? Because if that's where your fulfillment comes from, it is a bottomless pit, and you will always be searching. You'll never, ever become fulfilled, because once you get that, then it's on to the next thing. It's past. It's done. Anytime you put your fulfillment or happiness in time, so I'll be happy when, it's fleeting. You're chasing. You're like a fucking rabbit chasing the carrot on the stick your whole life. Is that what you want to fucking do? Fuck no. Fuck that. Come on, dude. Fuck that. I promise you greatness will follow once you are at oneness with your being. Once you're able to separate yourself from your thoughts and realize you're not whatever external thing you choose to identify yourself with, then you will find greatness. You will find God from within. Have that inner peace and be at one with yourself and the universe. So yogis have this saying or this belief I've heard, I don't know for a fact. I mean, what the fuck do I know for a fact? But it is the river of God runs through you or runs within. And I think that's fucking perfect. I think that's great. I think the river of God runs through us all, or our souls or whatever. We have that peace. We have that energy. We have that connection. We just need to come in contact with it. And I don't know what the fuck that means for you. For me, it was being completely honest and genuine and just just being me, right? Fuck it, just being me, right? Um, and yeah, so if you asked me to write this 2 years ago, there's no fucking way I could have written this, and if I did, it would have been a copy thing, and I wouldn't have really understood it or grasped it, right? Um, because before, when I got to this rehab, I came there the second time. I went there, got out, relapsed really fast because I didn't fucking take it. It's not like I didn't even take it seriously, though. I took it seriously. I just didn't. It's like I didn't know better. It's like I was ignorant to all of these things, and it took that spiritual awakening or whatever the fuck it was to humble me enough to listen, to want to be better, right? And so when I got there the first time, I was selfish, I was arrogant, I played the victim, I was manipulative, I was dishonest, I was all these things, right? But I used thinking errors such as victimhood, rationalization, justification to convince myself and other people otherwise, right? I did all these things. I was living incongruently with myself, but at the same time, it's like I didn't know it, right? Or I wasn't, or I didn't want to be aware of it. It's fucking crazy, right? It's like secondary gains. I was doing all that so I could keep living my life of shitty, using drugs and being a piece of shit, right? Secondary gains. Happens a lot. Pay attention. Okay, and then I've talked about it before, what happened with my baby mom and my ex and the whole therapist session and the fucking earthquake, right? And all of that. And yeah, and fucking now I'm here. So, and the work that it took though was I got processed every day, which what I was saying is like the processes were rough. Like they were rough on me for a week and a half or however long it took until I had that session with my ex. But I was always vulnerable. I was always introspective. I was willing. I wanted to learn. And then even outside of the groups and the processing and everything else, I did a lot of personal work. I was always working. I was always reading. I was always trying to learn more. And then it was just a progression from there, and it worked. And now my favorite thing, now I love myself, and I think my favorite thing about myself is my awareness, though. My awareness that I have about life, about myself, about where I want to go, what I want to do. And even right now, like right now, dude, I have a fucking 5-figure income. I don't do a lot. I want to do more, but like I'm okay. I mean, I'm good, you know. I'm figuring it out, and I'm enjoying it, and I'm finding self-fulfillment. Like I feel so great sometimes just being alone and just doing my own thing. Like I've been so ecstatic, just completely fulfilled, and it seems crazy, right? Because we're not brought up to think like that. I wasn't. Society doesn't teach us that, and but it's a great thing. Thanks for watching.